And a new escalation in D.C., with Republican-led states, including West Virginia, Ohio, and South Carolina, now sending National Guard troops to the nation's capital. It's part of President Trump's measures to fight crime here, despite downward trends. The new troops will join the already activated D.C. National Guard, as some now are set to carry firearms to conduct their mission. That's according to 2 U.S. officials. All of this as Democrats slam the Trump administration's efforts as executive overreach and an attempt to distract from other domestic issues, such as the aforementioned Epstein files. Joining us now is Carol Lamb, an NBC News legal analyst and former U.S. attorney, and NBC News legal affairs reporter Gary Grumbach. Gary, I want to go first to you. How many more National Guard troops can we expect in D.C., and how are they going to bolster the forces that are already here?
So this is going to be a significant escalation, Allie. We're talking about 300 members of the National Guard from West Virginia, 200 members of the National Guard from South Carolina, 150 from Ohio, already on top of the 800 that are already on the ground here in D.C. And that's not even to mention all the federal agents that are spanned out across the city, from the FBI, from DHS, from Secret Service. All these federal agencies keep trying to keep D.C. safe.
I mean, you were out there all weekend talking to Washingtonians, looking at what the presence looks like. What then happens when you add the fact that some of these troops are now going to be armed into the mix?
So National Guard is really only focused on Union Station, the National Mall, and the White House. And for D.C. residents, Allie, you too, that is not where most of the crime is happening in D.C. Where the crime is happening in D.C. is in the northeast area of D.C. and some parts of the southeast area of D.C. That is not where we're seeing this presence. So, yes, they're armed members of the National Guard, but these agents are out there, too. One thing I do want to note, the National Guard members are armed. They cannot make arrests.
Yeah, I think that's a really important distinction. And, Carol, it's one that I wanted you to pick up on, because the arming of troops does mark a change here since the National Guard was first deployed to the district. But Gary is pointing out some of the things that they can and cannot do. Can you further detail a little bit of that for us, Carol?
Sure. The National Guard, when it's called up in this manner to do local law enforcement, essentially it's to support federal law enforcement in their jobs. And that's the rationale for bringing the National Guard in. And to that end, they are not supposed to be doing street operations. They are not supposed to be arresting people. As you've noted, they're supposed to be helping protect the federal personnel who are trying to do their jobs. That is what we heard in Los Angeles, and that is what we're seeing here today in Washington, D.C. The fact that they're armed does ratchet things up, because not so much because it changes what they're supposed to do, but because it increases the possibility of something bad happening because they are armed. You know, people are making snap judgments. People are, we remember the Kent State tragedy, where because you have firearms there and people are under tense situations, some accident or some misjudgment could occur. And that, in that sense, things have ratcheted up.
Yeah, and that's the fear that we had on the ground in Los Angeles when troops were first deployed there. Now here in Washington, D.C., the idea that an already tense situation could be made more intense by the introduction of more troops or now firearms. But, Carol, from a legal perspective, Trump is allowed to use the National Guard in D.C. Would have been great if he'd done it on January 6th, but what can I say? What does it say here that there was a line around you can't take over the Metro Police Department? So are there guardrails here? Are there not? Just talk about the legal contours.
Yeah, there are guardrails, and it's basically the judiciary. I mean, there are certain what I call tells about what we see going on here, certain hints about what's really behind all of this. What we saw on Friday was that the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, of the United States, really did an overreach. She said, in carrying out President Trump's wishes, said that we are taking over the D.C. police, the Metropolitan Police Force, and we are going to put that under the, of all people, the DEA administrator, the head of the Drug Enforcement Administration. It's actually quite shocking to those of us who have done federal law enforcement that the Attorney General could be so ill prepared that when the judge pushed back and said, you are not allowed to do that under the Home Rule Act, which governs the District of Columbia, they didn't say we're going to appeal. They didn't say we're going to fight. They actually backpedaled, and they said, OK, we're taking that order back, and we're going to come up with a new one in which the police chief remained in place, although instructed to help federal law enforcement. That's fairly shocking, an error for the Attorney General of the United States to make.
Yeah, I was surprised, though, Gary, and you have been living in the legal battles at every single turn of this administration. It has almost felt at many points that DOJ has tried to be pushing the bounds of what they can and cannot do, however shocking it might be to people like Carol who practice in this space. I mean, were you surprised by the way that the Justice Department reacted to the home rule being applied in that way? And were you surprised to see them reorient themselves and take a different course as opposed to just having the fight, which they've done time and again?
They have done this time and again. And on Friday, we saw them sit down for 90 minutes in a closed-door meeting with the D.C. Attorney General's office to try to come to a deal to avoid a negative ruling from the judge that was very clearly coming. And they did that. And what they did was that the D.C. Police chief is back in charge of her 3,100 members of MPD. However, the Trump administration is forcing the mayor to order the police department to involve themselves in immigration enforcement efforts, another huge part of this administration's priorities.
And that has always been a central part, because even think back to just, a month and a half ago when we were talking about Los Angeles as the city at the focus of all of this. The central question was, what does it look like for National Guard troops and others to potentially be involved in ICE and immigration enforcement? That's not something that they are trained for. And now it's an open question here. You know, Carol, I want to finish with you and talk about the other legal ramifications or future court fights that could be had because of these troops being on the ground here. If you were to look around the legal corner, what might we be looking ahead to?
Sure. And one of the concerns is if the president can do this in the District of Columbia, what if he decides to do this in other states, particularly blue states? I think we have to see what's coming from the Ninth Circuit and the district court in California, which still has the Newsom versus Trump case in front of it, because in denying the temporary restraining order that Judge Breyer had put in place to keep the National Guard from acting in Los Angeles. In denying that, the Court of Appeals did say something very interesting. They said, we're going to give great deference to the President of the United States in his characterization of what constitutes, for example, a rebellion. But on the other hand, we do have judicial review powers over that decision. And if we believe, once the facts are all out there, if we believe that there is bad faith at play, or this was not a really unbiased call that was being made, and if there was no evidence supporting this, we will not hesitate to shut this down. So I think it remains to be seen what is going to happen in the courts with respect to these kinds of moves by the administration.
Yeah, LA was seen as sort of the first test. Now we are watching it play out here in Washington. The courts work slowly, but the precedents have major ripple effects. Gary Grumbach and Carol Lamb, thank you for breaking it all down for us.